Hello, friends, and welcome to the Pressure to Passion podcast, redefining your life after trauma. I am your host, Miss D. May, and we are joined by an incredibly special guest, Michelle Griffith-Robinson, OLY, baby. Michelle has competed in over three Commonwealth Games, I believe, 4 World Championships, 1996 Olympics, and she is not only a mother, a wife, but she is an ambassador for many charities and is more than that, an incredible human being, which I'm privileged to know. Michelle, I'm so glad that our schedules have aligned to be here today. Welcome.
Thank you, darling. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. And you're as good as the people around you. So thank you.
It's amazing. I just want to give full transparency to our listeners. I have, when I conceptualized this podcast and I asked Michelle to be a part of it, without hesitation, she absolutely said yes. So I'm so grateful for her, as with my other guests too. So Michelle, let's get into it.
Okay, honey, let's do it.
So usually I start with some quick fire questions, but I think I'm going to leave those till later. And I just want to ask you how your experiences as an elite athlete have shaped your approach to becoming a life coach and mentor now.
So I think the thing about it is you learn so many lessons with athletics.
Yes,
and
you do.
Being an elite performer, representing Great Britain on the biggest stage, 90,000 people in the arena or the stadium, you learn how to manage yourself really well.
Yeah.
And you take the wins, the losses, the ups, the downs, the disappointments, and you transfer those skills into everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you know, Dee, and I know, life is not easy.
Sure
so
isn't.
You
Life
have to almost build up. Hey. But I would say life is not easy, and you have to build up your toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
Resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing how you can manage yourself with the failures that are in front of you.
Yeah.
So sport has taught me so much, which has afforded me to have the wealth of knowledge and experience that I have today.
Wow.
And if I could bottle up a little bit of those ingredients that I've learned and sell it on, I tell you what, the world would be a better place.
It absolutely would be. I mean, I have had the privilege of being coached by you in a very special way. But how would you advise someone to start the process of healing and self-discovery and growth if they're feeling stuck right now?
Yeah, wonderful question. What would I say to somebody now? First and foremost, stop, pause, and reflect on why you've come to where you are today. So stop, pause, and reflect on why you've come to that stage of where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself the grace and the space to take some time out to really, you said self-discovery, to really discover what brings you joy. Yeah. Go back to all the time what brings you joy, what makes you smile.
Yeah.
And as much as we can say, it's going on a nice holiday, of course it does. Waking up to sunshine. But realistically, you're not going to be surrounded by all of these things all the time. So within your control, what brings you joy 80% of the time? And I say 80 because I believe that I follow the 80-20 rule.
Amen to that.
80% of the time, I'm full of joy. 20% of the time, you're like, gosh, I can't be flipping arse. But 80% you're kicking ass, you're giving thanks, you're waking up, you're demonstrating your brilliance. So that's what I would say to somebody. And of course, you do get stuck in a rut sometimes. And I'd be, as a life coach and an Olympian, I'd be stupid not to say to our listeners out there that that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even the very best of people get stuck in a rut. In fact, some of the richest people I know are stuck in ruts.
Mm.
So, don't let any economical situation, any trauma that you suffered in your life, continue to almost hold you back for fulfilling
Yeah.
your one journey of life.
That's such great advice, Mish. I can just imagine that as an Olympian, I'm not even just going to say Olympian, elite athlete. You have to be elite to get to the Olympics. I'm sure you would have,
Absolutely.
gosh, I'm sure you would have just gone through some mental challenges as well as physical challenges. And having spent some time with you, I know that your mum is your biggest supporter. How important is support? How important is support to get through those challenges and obstacles? And how did you navigate all of that through those mental and physical challenges?
I think, you hit the nail on the head. Finding a support system around you in any challenge in life is going to be key and instrumental to you coming out of that challenge. And yes, you are right. My mama is my biggest cheerleader, my biggest supporter, has been from as long as I know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just having somebody just say, it's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay. Without not trying to give a valid reason. Sometimes we try and fix things too quickly, right? We're trying to find excuses for people's behavior, or just let them sit comfortable being uncomfortable. And my mum used to not say too much to me after I'd come in from a competition and I'd done 3 no jumps or I didn't make the qualification. She would just say it in her strongest Jamaican accent. Michelle, we cook some dinner, We'll talk later about this sport, but for now, go and have the dinner. You need your strength.
Sometimes that's all you need.
And just diffused it. That's all you need. So a distraction, from the things that you think. It wasn't about, why did you perform so badly and what do you think of it? It's just allowing some space for you to sit and think, actually, I just want to eat my dinner. I want to have a little cry and then I'm going to come again. That's in anything, whether that's, coming through cancer, whether that's, failing in a job, not getting a job interview, not getting into university. You'll come back to it, because sometimes when we act and react too quickly to situations, it's fueled by emotional state.
Wow. Yeah, it is. Sometimes you get into a fight or flight mode, right? And then you're just having your emotions lead you rather than sitting with it, like you said, and really trying to process what the next step should be.
Absolutely.
I'm learning, Mish. I'm learning.
I know you hear me, Dee. I know you hear me, Dee. I know you hear me.
Oh gosh, Mish, listen. I see you on your Instagrams. I'm fortunate to know you in real life and not just Instagram. But you come across as this.
Someone say unfortunate, baby.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You come across.
I'm jesting.
I know, right? You come across as this really vibrant, fun personality. Where did that come from? And how do you incorporate joy and laughter and humor into your everyday practices to bring the joy out of yourself?
Can you repeat the question? Because I think we cut out a little bit. Remember, I live in a farmhouse with big thick walls.
Listen, I've seen you on Renovation Nation. That farmhouse is a work of art, my love. A work of art.
Hey, it's a work of art, but internet and this house don't agree too good.
I said.
So listeners, forgive me.
You're forgiven always. I said that you come across as this really vibrant, fun person and exude joy, love, laughter, and happiness. Where does that come from, and how do you incorporate that in your daily practices?
My mum, again. And, I have to share a little backstory to our listeners here.
Yeah.
The last 5 years for my mum has been somewhat exceptionally challenging.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to share all of it now because I think it will spoil the book that I'm going to write. I'm not even personal about it. It's just that when I write it in the book, you'll understand how this 84-year-old Jamaican lady who came over to England in 1961, what she has endured in the last 5 years of her life. Some people would not wake up.
I get that.
So my mum's still sitting at home now in northwest London with an amputated leg. You know, she still laughs at things on the TV. She still says, Miss Mandy, you look wicked in that dress, but you need to change up the lipstick. It looks dry. Them big clumpy shoes. And I'm like, Mummy, you know, no, we don't. Oh, you can't walk in them big clumpy shoes. And this is a lady who used to go out dancing every weekend with my stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
And if she can look at the lighter side of life, why the hell should I not? And I'm surrounded by that. So because of that, my mum is my biggest inspiration. And I know I'm blessed. And I know not everybody has a mother around, has got the fortunate relationship around as well. So for those that have got a relationship that can mirror me and my mum's, you know, I'll say to you, hold them tight and close to you. Because when they eventually close your eyes, you have to carry on and pass on that baton.
That's so deep and personal, and thank you for sharing that. And I feel honestly a little bit of I resonate a lot with that, because again, I'm from Jamaican background. Both my parents are Jamaican, and when I was diagnosed with cancer back in 2018, I was a little bit nervous about telling my mum and telling my family just in general, and just telling my family just in general. But I told my mum, and the stoic person, she goes, no worry about that. God already got you. No worry about it. You know? And
you understand?
Yeah. And they come from that stock. You understand? You know? So when I see the things that, again, like you're talking about your mum and the things that my mum came here when she was 17 years old. Again, part of the Windrush generation, came here and made life for herself by herself. And when I see what she has done, I too understand that, yo, D, you can't just roll around on the floor and cry for yourself. You know, there's a
understand?
Right. There's a power
fix up.
But there's a power within. There's a power deep within that comes from seeing people like our mothers go through traumatic challenges and be able to still smile today, still be able to still laugh today. So I really, really resonate with what you're saying, Mish, and thank you so much for sharing that. It's just, but again, like you say, not everybody has that, unfortunately. So they have to find their own
So for those that don't have that, they have to find that system, that support system around you. They've got to find that person, whether it be an auntie, a godmother, a confidant, a mentor. They have to find that person that they can trust, that they can share, and that they're allowed to show their vulnerability. And be themselves around. Because the problem we have in today's society, we are scared to show our vulnerability because we don't want people to think, actually, it's a weaker version of ourselves. Knowing that when I show my vulnerability, I'm actually a stronger version of myself.
Absolutely.
Because the people that watch on and see me actually can relate to me.
Yeah.
You know, I feel this girl, you know. This black girl from Wembley, I feel her.
Yeah. And
I'm blessed to have that, Dee.
Yeah. You are. And that's really, really, really cool that you said that, because that's how I felt with you. Really, when I met you for the first time at an event, I remember I knew you were coming to the event, and I reached out to you on LinkedIn personally. I did not know you were going to be so warm and welcoming when I met you in person, and to know that we're from the same ends.
Listen, we're from the ends, baby. We're from the Alberton Wembley ends.
Yeah, and I just felt.
But Denise, you said something there that, you know, that strikes a chord with me. Why would I not be welcoming? What do I have any different to you? Why wouldn't we we need more people to be more welcoming and open up their arms and their heart and bring others in. I've got you, baby. You're a younger version of me, Dee.
Thank you.
I want to see you kick ass and thrive.
Don't get me emotional now, Mish. Don't get me emotional.
If you want ball, it's up to you.
Yeah. No.
I'm saying to you, why would I not want to see you thrive? I want to see other women,
Mm-hmm.
black women,
Mm-hmm.
white women, women of different genders, women who identify as other things thrive,
Mm-hmm.
men.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that.
And that is, I know that that's something about you that's one of your passions. You want to help women and girls thrive to be their better selves. So it is, but again, sometimes they say, don't meet your role models, because sometimes they might disappoint you.
Hello.
So that's what I meant by that.
Yeah. But thank you. And without me not being big-headed and up my own backside here.
Be as big as you
I
like,
do
my
hear
darling.
a lot of people say to me a lot. No, I hear a lot of people say to me, Michelle, you're so welcoming and warm and you're willing to help others. And I just say, why shouldn't I?
Mm.
If I can, I will.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll equally know if I can't, I also will say I can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's okay too.
No, thank you, Mish. Again, even just you being here today is just true sisterhood and support. So thank you.
Amen,
Are
baby.
there any specific exercises or routines or habits that you use for building resilience and fostering personal growth for yourself?
Say that again, my darling. Cut out a minute.
Are there any specific routines or habits that you recommend for building resilience and fostering growth?
Oh, I love that question. Oh, I might have to steal that question for one of my coaching sessions.
You can steal it, my love.
Yeah. I now have to steal that one and put it in my pan. So are there any? Yes, there are some habits and routines.
Mm-hmm.
So the habit and routine, number one, recognizing a habit and a routine, what that does for you.
Mm-hmm.
So getting up in the morning, I know this is not a selling point, but I take my Simproof shot every morning.
Yeah.
And it's just a simple shot that I take them for my microbiome, for my gut.
Mm-hmm.
So I start off with that. Then I do a little bit of movement, stretching out. Because all of these things is helping me to leverage myself to be the best version of me.
Out there.
So stretching out, feeling good about myself. Healthy habits, creating healthy habits that are going to reflect the best of MGR, Michelle Griffith-Robinson.
Woo, baby!
Yeah. So that's something there that I put in there. I put that in. That's something that I do. That's my healthy habits. Mm-hmm. That helps me. Mm-hmm. Affirmations, positive affirmations, journaling, looking in the mirror. These are my daily habitual things that I am great enough. I look in the mirror and say, Mish, you look good today, baby. Yeah, I turn to the side, and I know women that are listening to this, they're going to be visualizing me. I turn to the side, I say, oh, that belly look a little bit popped this morning. Lord God. But it's okay. Them breasts is hanging down a little bit. That's okay. That's all right. They're breastfed-free children. And I find the positives when I'm looking at myself. I'm not sabotaging this beautiful black body that I have.
Amen.
I'm leveraging and I'm thinking, okay, what can I do to make it even better? Mm-hmm. So I need to work out. So I know you have to have your non-negotiables. Mm-hmm. All of these things help build resilience and foster the best version of yourself.
I love all of that.
If I train, I'm sharper. I've got more clarity. I'm with it. I'm ready. Yeah, I write down a couple of things that I want to achieve for the week. I don't overwhelm myself. Sometimes if that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm not beating myself up. I'm human.
Yeah.
I'm a robot.
Gosh, I need to.
And some weeks, Dee, I am on fire.
Yes.
I'm like, right, bring it on. Bring it. Come. Bring it on. Come.
I can take
it.
Other
weeks, I'm like, boy, this is a struggle. This is a struggle, boy. So for me, it's the 80-20, which we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Rolling with that and recognizing that actually I'm human, give myself space and grace. We come from, especially for listeners that are of color and black women, we come from a place of trauma a lot of the time. To be where we are, for me to be on as a non-exec director on the Mental Health UK as a trustee, listen, that's not something that happens often to women of color, yeah?
No. And huge
so I congratulate myself and say, do you know what? Thank you. And I congratulate myself and say, do you know what? That's so serious. Well done, babe. Well done. reach round to me back and pat it. Yes, pat it.
You deserve it.
Actually, not something that happens all the time. Like, it's not often that people from Wembley, from Preston Manor High School, go to Olympic Games. So I congratulate myself on what I have achieved. So if that's one thing I can say to our listeners, along the way, congratulate yourself on the small gains.
Yes. Recognize the small wins. And sometimes that's really hard to do because people just focus on the big achievements. And I say this, knowing, having been in dark spaces, even getting up out of your bed sometimes is a win. It's a massive win.
Listen.
Brushing your teeth some days is
Denise,
a massive win.
Listen. See? I have to call you Denise when it's serious.
Yes, when
Denise,
it's serious.
When I had my first child, when it's serious now, I got to call your full name. Right? When I had my first child, Denise, I'm going to be honest with you, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Planned pregnancy. I was 32 years old, nearly 33. I had our daughter Reese, who's nearly 21. And getting up out of bed and showering, creaming up my skin, that felt like I won the lottery, sister. Because it's hard, that first time, and for me, who's a first-time mother, who's an Olympian, looking at myself, I've always had structure. All of a sudden, this baby's controlling me.
Yeah.
Even that, so you are right. And that for those that suffer mental health, anxiety, sometimes just getting out of bed, putting on your clothes, choosing your outfit, walking out the door, walking down the road, getting your 20 minutes of fresh air, that's a win for today. And don't listen to anybody else that tells you it is not.
Because they're not living your life. They don't understand they don't understand the struggles that you have to go through. So I want to talk about...
and they haven't walked in your shoes.
Absolutely. There you go. I want to talk about the importance of sports for mental and physical health with you, because as well as all the other things that you do, life coach, mentor, I know that you've trained as a personal trainer too. How have you seen the impact of physical activity on people's mental health and physical health?
Well, like I said to you, I'm the non-exec director for Mental Health UK. So it's one of the things that we will continue to promote, that how much your well-being, when we talk about well-being, getting out there, physical activity, releasing those endorphins, getting out in nature, how much it supports your mental health. And I want to really talk about positive mental health here.
Yeah.
So, and I would ask our listeners, and, hopefully they've got a pen and paper down to write down some of these golden gems. But number one, what we said earlier on, what brings you joy? And if you had all the activities in the world, what would you do? Do not tell me nothing. What would you do? Would you dance? Would you walk? Would you cycle? Would you swim? Would you run? Would you lift weights? So because it is proven, scientifically proven, that exercising, movement, dancing, all of those things massively contribute to a positive mental outlook. But what happens to those who can't, like we said, who struggle? Then I would just say, just get yourself out into a garden or outside your gate and take in some fresh air. Because that's a start.
It is a start.
And then when you take out some fresh air from your front garden and from your front gate, walk to the end of your gate or walk down your stairs from your flat or upstairs from your penthouse and take in and take out some fresh air and draw it in. Because when you're talking about, we talk about the ideal situation where everyone's got a garden and da-da-da-da-da and, they've got... No. Some people, like we said, Denise, and I love the fact that you say that. For some people, it's not as easy. So, but I will say to you, just starting off with small steps, walking to your front gate, taking in some vitamin D when we get it in this country, getting some fresh air, which we've got constantly around us.
Yeah. And
do that first thing in the morning. As soon as you open your eyes, you've done your little stretches. If you want to do them, get outside and take in nature.
Yeah.
Because that sets you up and regulates your rhythm for a good night's sleep as well.
Such great advice. And I think that people can get caught up with the notion that you need a gym, you need all this equipment. But like you say, you can just start by walking. Walking is so incredibly good for you. So just start by that if you need to.
Absolutely. Walking is brilliant for you. Start by walking. And the great thing about walking is you can measure it by time. Yeah. Today I walked for 10 minutes. Today I walked for 20 minutes. In fact, find a route. I walked around my park twice
Mm-hmm.
and it took me 16 minutes. Tomorrow, I'm going to try and do it in 15 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So measure it. Let's start by making simple steps. Keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rather than, you know what, I need to run a marathon, a half marathon, a 5K. Keep it simple. Of course, they're brilliant things to aspire towards,
Mm-hmm.
if that's what you choose.
Mm-hmm.
It might be joining a fitness class, you know, saving up your money and joining a retreat somewhere, whatever it might be. It might be saying, do you know what? Instead of doing that with my girlfriends, you know what, girls? We're going to we're going to do a pub crawl, but just have soda and lime.
Yeah.
But we're going to walk everywhere around London.
That's so good.
But we have to be adventurous because movement is medicine.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And I can attest to that. You know, I used movement as a recovery after cancer. I was always very, very active beforehand. My thing is I love strength training and I also enjoy cycling. Cycling is, I remember my dad, my late dad, he asked me what I wanted for my 18th birthday. And I go, Daddy, can I get a new bike, please? Can I get a new bike, please?
Oh, I love that.
You know,
oh, dude, that's sweet.
I ride my bike because the reason I say that is because my dad is no longer here. And he was the one that got me into cycling because I remember he used to have a little green bike that he used to ride everywhere. My dad had me late in life. He was already retired by the time he had me, but he would cycle everywhere on this little green bike and he used to be fixing it all the time. And I was one of those kids that just want to be E9 and everything. And there was even a point where I swallowed one of the screws from the bike. Anyway, that's a long story. But I did. I won't tell you what happened, but I'm obviously still here to tell the tale. But my affiliation, I don't know if it's my affiliation with cycling, comes from my dad, which is why I love it so much. I'm not sure why, but I think that is. So even now today, I cycle to work when I go to work, if it's not raining, because I won't be cycling in the rain. But just little things. I love a bike. I take it everywhere with me if possible. So now I have a fold-up bike that I can travel with. So if I go on holiday and I know there's going to be greenery.
Denise, I love that.
Yeah, I do.
I love that.
Thank you. But it's just, I'm just trying to express to people that you don't need a gym. You don't have to have a gym or loads of massive equipment. Even if you just start out with one piece of equipment, find something that you like to do. So again, badminton is one of the other things that I enjoy. The reason I don't play so much now is because nobody wants to play me because I'm just that good at it. No, I'm joking. I don't have a partner to play with. I don't have a partner to play with.
But Denise, you know, you can definitely change that. You can change that by just putting out on social media.
I know, right? And clubs and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm just trying to impress upon people that you can start small and you can get so much benefit and gain. And cycling, when I was unable to go out cycling after treatment, I invested in an indoor bike. And I use that every day to get myself back to a place.
And the great thing about an indoor bike as well, Denise, you know, you can get them, or any bike, indoor or outdoor bike, you can get them on eBay, you can get them secondhand.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, don't think that you have to go and spend a fortune. Because people are always trying to upgrade their bikes and stuff, you know.
It's funny.
You know, it's brilliant.
I love that you say that because my brother comes to my house all the time and sees my bike. My brother's he's built himself a nice gym in the back of his garden and everything. He comes to my house all the time and he sees my bike. Yeah. Every minute he's like, Dee, where'd you get that bike? Where'd you get that bike? Show me. For 2 years. 2 years he's been asking me about this bike. This week he went and purchased the same bike. He got a refurbished one like me. Second hands, completely, you know, great. But I'm just saying, you know, you don't have to buy a brand new bike. You could get a refurb one.
No. I love that.
So that's great. I mean,
amazing.
Sports is so good. Anyway, so we're going to start, you know, coming to a close, but what are some of the key pieces of advice for people that are starting out on their journey? But I would like for you to drop your favorite quote or a pearl of wisdom for our listeners that, you know, you are an elite in what you do, and a specialized coach, what pearls of wisdom, a really good quote, can you pass upon to our listeners?
Okay, so I'd say pearls of wisdom would be, number one, find what brings you joy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, find what brings you joy. And this is a morbid one, but I think it really starts to make you look into yourself. When we eventually close our eyes and someone's reading out your eulogy, how do you best want to be remembered? That, for me, is where you start to think, okay, am I having fun? Am I giving? Do I pay it forward? Where can do I do anything charitable? Just starting to make you think, how would you want to be remembered?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I know how I want to be remembered. I want people to say, oh my God, that girl, man, she had a wardrobe full of clothes and shoes. She would give her stuff out, and she would donate a lot of her clothes to Women's Aid, and she would dress up, she would dance, she's giving, she's caring, she's got a potty mouth, but she loved deep.
I can attest to all of those things.
That's how I'd want people to remember. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying, do what makes you happy, guys. So my words of wisdom are, if you're not happy, ask yourself why. What's stopping you doing what you want to do? What's stopping you? What are the barriers? Come out of this rut. What support do you need? How, what, why?
How, what, and why? Michelle, I love you. I do. I love you.
Baby.
Right.
Mutual. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad that when our paths crossed a few years ago, because your beaming smile and your abundance of love and joy that you give, more than you actually know, Denise,
wow,
is infectious.
Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. Okay, so my quick fire questions that I was going to ask you at the beginning, I'm going to leave to the end, which is now. So I would like to know, if you did not compete as a triple jumper, what other sport would you have competed in the Olympics?
Well, if they bring it in, be netball. Badass netballer.
Yes.
Wicked ass netballer.
Wow.
Badass netballer. Don't mess with me, yeah? Boom, 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 boom. I was fire, dynamic. Boom, in your face. Boom, boom.
I know some really good netballers, you know. One used to play for England as well. We should do a little friendly. Yes.
Get me ready, because I'm bouncing out. I don't care who she play for. I would say if they brought it in, I would be a netballer.
A netballer. Okay, cool. What is your go-to jump up song when you need an energy boost?
Oh, when I need an energy boost, whether it's energy boost, any boost, call it optimistic sounds of blackness.
Yes.
Boom! That's my. And you know what, guys? You know what I've done as well? I've even put it in my will. Optimistic when I die.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've also said you have to wear bold, bright colours.
Mm-hmm.
No black.
No black around
to
here.
My funeral.
You and me both. I've said that.
The only black is my skin. Black is my skin. Move.
Beautiful black at that. My final question before we go on this is, if you could have dinner with 3 people, living or deceased, who would they be and why?
3 people, it would be, number 1 would be Michelle Obama. I think she's an incredible black woman who represents a lot of what I stand for, a mother, an intelligent woman, kicks ass, holds herself really greatly, and a very intelligent woman at that. So I think Michelle Obama, I'd love to have a dinner with her. Number 2 would be, I'd like myself, Michelle Obama, and my husband to have dinner together, because my husband's a great candidate and character who is very, interested in people as well. And he's bloody stunning as well. So, when he walks in a room with me, I feel blessed to be with my husband. My husband's Chris. End of.
Yeah.
So it'd be me, Michelle Obama, my husband. And then I think my last person would be, gosh, do you know what? I think it'd have to be, I'd have to lick in Bob Marley in there, man.
Good choice.
Bob Marley would be there telling us about his life, because Matthew's, he's my husband's hero. And if I could just do that to make my husband smile, it'd be Bob Marley.
Amazing, Michelle. Thank you so much. One more thing before you go. So I am making the Pressure to Passion playlist. That's a bit hard after a little while to say. And this playlist...
The Pressure to Passion playlist. The 3 Ps.
3
Lord
Ps.
God.
Pressure to Passion playlist. So our listeners can listen to them, to the playlist at any time if they just want a boost. If you could describe your life in 3 songs, what would they be? I know you already want Optimistic on there. Give me another 2.
Optimistic's on there. I think the second one would be, hold on now.
Because I'm going to
Say
put
a
this
Little
on
Prayer
the
for
list.
You by Dionne Warwick.
Good song. Good choice.
Prayer for You by Dionne, and Ain't No Stopping Us Now, but the Luther Vandross version.
Great choices, Mish. Thank you so much for your time today. You have been vibrant as always, amazing conversation, and just sending you lots and lots of love. So thank you once again, everyone.
Thank you, Dee. Thank you, darling. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this episode of the Pressure to Passion podcast. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends. Until next time, God bless.